name is Jane Anyango, the founding director of Polycom Development Project. So we've been having this 3-day Girls Assembly, Girls and Young Women Assembly, and this is very, very important to us because we just launched a project, a 5-year project, that is going to look at the welfare, is going to address different social norms that limit girls and young women from accessing decision-making spaces. So this was very important to us because we have been able to bring the girls together to empower themselves, to learn about what social norms are, so that they are able to map them and challenge them, come up with ideas on how to challenge them. So many times people come up with programs or people make decisions for young people, for young women and even girls or even the youth. But we have decided to create this space for these people to identify their own issues, to be able to get the necessary skills that will enable them to identify their own issues and come up with solutions on their own. The 3-day event has been very, very successful. We had the powerful young girls and women, and we were also able to get very powerful people who are talking to the girls, people who have overcome different challenges to be the people they are in this society today. So it was so much of a success. We had a team from Homabay County, another team from Mathare, and the Kibera team, and the young women who inspired them. So it was such a success.
This has been a great event. Thanks to Polycom for organizing this. And to the new leaders, I say congratulations to them. There's a lot of expectations, but I know they have a lot of potential and they will be able to represent the girls from Kenya in a great way. We have already, shared with them the next steps in terms of what they need to do, designing their vision board clearly, outlining the actions that they will be doing, and what their role in the governance structure for the She Leads Kenya looks like. So there's a lot of solidarity and willingness to participate and to ensure that the She Leads program is inclusive, is intentional in engaging girls and young women meaningfully, because that is the core, the core reason or objective as to why She Leads was designed, and having that African girl voice amplified so that their needs and priorities are captured well. And we don't want other people or grown or adults, if I may say so, to be representing girls and young women or setting the agenda for girls and young women of Africa. We want the girls to set the agenda of how they want to lead, to set their priorities. If you look at She Leads, it's not designed in a certain thematic area so that it doesn't lock out girls who have interests. For example, in cybersecurity or activism in issues such as entrepreneurship, everybody is captured in the outcomes that She Leads is targeting.
This event we've been here, it's the Girls and Young Women Assembly. Basically wanted to bring together the girls who we are working with the She Leads program. We take them through the leadership roles and also just generally for them to get to understand how to conduct advocacy. And today, basically, we were giving them an opportunity to elect their leaders who will represent them at the country network level. Our expectation for the selected leaders will be that there will be a representation of the girls from the region they come from, and they'll be able to represent the girls at that decision-making body of the country network. So moving forward, the girls who've been selected from Mathare, Kibera and Homabay will be representing the other girls when we're having the country network meetings, and also when we have communication, there will be our communication channel to the girls in those sub-counties when we are having conversations at the national level. So they're just coming in to represent the girls, but they will also strongly be working with the other girls back at their county level, and then they come to the national level to represent them at the country network level. The event has been amazing. It's been a success from the very beginning. We've seen girls being proactive, I can say we met our objective for the 3 days for the Girls Assembly, because when we were having conversations around data-driven advocacy, the girls were able to conceptualize that, and we have seen them develop a few of the key issues they would want to advocate for, and they're now on a research to see how best they can be able, and the kind of stakeholders they can involve to amplify their voices in advocating for the issues that they feel they need to address in their respective counties.
She leads, we know we can, and it has given us power, it has given us ideas, it has enlightened us. Yes, we had ideas, we had strategies, but we never knew how to do it the correct way. So I think from the training I've gained a lot, and I'll go back to my young girls and women with disability and train them on how to advocate for their rights and also fight for their rights, because sometimes you find that they are sexually abused, but no one is there to talk about it. No one is there to talk for that young girl with disability. But I've gained a lot, and I'm going to share it with my young ladies. And my expectation for the leaders who are chosen is that at the end of the day, they will always try to be inclusive, because sometimes as person with disability, as women with disability, girls with disability, we are forgotten.
As a young person, I realized that, hey, I will live here. I don't have to, I don't really believe in this mindset of I need to leave Kibera when I make money. That is not my take. My take is, this is my community and I will change it. And I will change it while I am inside of it. So identifying this problem and coming up with a solution enables me to see it in a different way. And that is why, because of the waste that is being experienced in my community, which is Kibera, I have come with washable diapers. You don't need to have a group, you don't need to have a team. Identify a problem. Your solution will attract people behind you, and you will lead them into achieving the positive goal that you want them to achieve. That is my take when it comes to leadership in the community or in any arena that God has allowed you to be at any given time. Thank you.
We've elected leaders that I hope will go in those areas and solve their problems, maybe empower the other youth that are young, for them to get that knowledge and know their rights. Yeah.
The event has been successful. I'm so happy about it, and I'm so happy that I'm going to take this information back at home. It was actually very interactive. We were here with girls from Terre, we were here with girls from Kibra, and also from Homabay, which is us. We were just 3. I think in total we were like 30 girls. It was very, very interactive and very interesting. We got to learn a lot. The main purpose of the event actually is, just as the name suggests, she leads. We are aspiring to make girls in our community, the young girls and women in our communities, to be leaders, to have the confidence to speak out for themselves. So we felt like most privileges are given to the boys, the young boys and men. So we also want to be inclusive, to take part in this. So during our sessions, we learned a lot. We learned about policy advocacy. We learned about leadership, women in leadership, and how we want to make these work in our communities.
My name is Ogemba Feni, and I come from Kibra. And today, with the event that started 2 days ago, it has been very impactful, and personally, I have learned a lot of things. I normally have headaches when I learn better and when I learn something that helps me improve my life. So having headaches each and every single day means the training was impactful. Thank you so much for organizing for the training, She Leads. And I want to say thank you so much for those who voted for me. Thank you. I'm solely humbled to be chosen. It's not an easy journey, but with your effort, with your work, with your prayers, and with your humility. Together we will make Kenya a better place. I don't just represent a girl from Kibra, I don't just represent a girl from Olympic, but I represent that Samburu lady in the village. I represent that Homabay girl. I represent that Kisumu girl. And together with the vision and objectives of She Leads, we will make Kenya a better place. I can, you can. She leads, we lead. Thank you.
My name is Anne Agar. I'm the Senior Programs Coordinator for Polycom Development Project. This Girls Assembly has been a huge success, considering when conversations are being held on meaningful engagement of young women and girls, it's mostly a conversation of them being there in numbers. It's never a conversation of the conversation being conducted, how they see the program. So from the initial stage of selecting the venue, the tendering process of the program, what they'd like to learn, the kind of facilitators they'd like to have, were in consultations with the girls. So I'm quite happy of how the things have turned out. They were able to elect their leaders, select them, able to select the kind of guests they would want to attend. So it's quite key that it's meaningful and it's them calling out all the decisions. So the girls and young women who have been selected today will serve for 1 year in the country network. And among the girls selected from Nairobi, there'll be girls from Kwale, there'll be girls from Kwale, there'll be girls from Kisumu, Homabay, and Kajiado. So they'll sit together, select one to be in the country steering committee for a year, and then it will be a rotational process. So the next year we'll have another election. So what we expect these girls to do is to represent other girls. The She Leads, one of the core elements of the She Leads project is the autonomy of women and girls. So we are not sitting as a country network deciding for the girls and women. So we expect the leaders who have been selected today to sit with the country network to make sure when programming is being done, when implementation is being done, it's meaningful for girls and young women and that they are represented in every conversation being held. Thank you.
Konya wegi atechimora gikiti kakikelo no sheri chunya kona na weri ase tetni nikechinyonga gichwechni ase tetni nikechinyonga gilani unataka nini mama anagombo na neni okinyole di morita aderitieka gibeni ase tetni nikechinyonga gichwechni ase tetni nikechinyonga gilani